All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Brujos Brewing, and they're out of Portland, Oregon, and this is their Secular. So they're calling this one an Imperial Hazy IPA featuring Citra Incognito, Citra, Simcoe, Strata, and Strata CGX hops. It comes at 9.3% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. This can is just under 3 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Sierra Hotel, for this beer. So absolutely big thanks to him for this one. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that he hooked me up with. He hooked me up with 10 different fantastic beers, I assume, because I haven't tried them, but they all sounded pretty fantastic. 2 of which were from Brujos, and this is the first of the 2 that I'm reviewing. Now, I did ask him which ones he would prefer me to review, and he was hesitant. He's like, you just review it, whatever. And then he's like, Secular, and then Unfold the Scroll from Monkish are the first 2 that he thought I should review, and I'm going to. So yeah, this is just an Imperial Hazy IPA, 2 different kinds of Citra, 2 different kinds of Strata and Simcoe. So sounds fantastic. He did say that he liked this quite a bit, and it's Brujos. You know, they got a lot of hype. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. The first one he sent my way, and the only one I've had is their Magister Ignis, and that was delicious. So I'm thinking the same thing for this one. So this has that, again, this is 9.3%, has that light, milky hop custard look to it. Shout out to Christopher, that a lot of people enjoy, and that doesn't surprise me. That's kind of what people look for when you're talking about like hazies nowadays, right? Just kind of this, and obviously their can art is fantastic. So anyway, yeah, so if you look at it, yeah, it has that milky kind of, I would say more of like a yellow-orange color, maybe into the honey orange realm, very murky and turbid, can't see through it. About 1.5 fingers of a super creamy, I would say that's like an off-white or like an eggshell white colored head, but incredibly creamy. Hold up to light, you can't see through it at all. A little bit of a tinge down here, but outside of that, yeah, it plays the role of some kind of crazy, hazy, Imperial IPA. Let's get a nose. Oh, man. So I've been watching a lot of Joe from Joe's Arcade recently, and I haven't really picked up on it too much. I know a lot of people who had Pliny for president. He said hop candy in that, and a lot of people are like, yeah, it makes sense. That's kind of what I'm getting this one. Definite hop candy. Like if there was like a sweet kind of like hop flavored candy, if you like hard candy. This has like orange and tangerine, peach. Yeah, heavy on the peach. I get peach a lot from Simcoe. I get it a lot from Citra. And I think it's just like a concentrated, like sweeter peach. Like peach nectar. Or like if you get like the peach fruit cups, like the syrup at the bottom of those cups. It's kind of, if you had like a mixed fruit cup like that had peach, orange, and instead of a lot of times they have cherries, if you threw like freshly cut up strawberries, that's what I'm getting. And that's probably from the Strata. So yeah, I'd say orange or tangerine, peach, and strawberries, but it's, again, a sweeter strawberry. Sweeter fruits in general. There's a little bit of like this dankness, like a dank herbaceousness. This doesn't have like, it doesn't smell like it's going to have hop burn, but it has like a fresh quality to it that is, again, dank and very herbal. Like almost basil or thyme-esque. Yeah, maybe a very slight, like bready, biscuity malt base. Smells fucking awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Sierra Hotel. Yeah. So if you're somebody who likes these just saturated with hops, without question, new school hazy and New England styles, this is for you. This is a hop explosion. Like, it just saturated my entire tongue with a bunch of different crazy hop characters. The body on this is kind of wild. The first sip, I didn't think like the body was overly impressive. That second sip, this has a heft to it that like I don't think I've ever had that experience. Like first sip, I was like, all right, this is probably like higher side of medium body, maybe lower side of full. Let me go back. Tiebreaker. I don't know what happened. Maybe that first sip, I wasn't really thinking about the body mouthfeel too much. This is pretty thick and hefty. It has almost like a luscious kind of creaminess to it. So this is like medium full bodied, 9.3%. It's hazy, fantastic. The mouthfeel is pretty spectacular too. Soft, smooth, and creamy. Has a mild to moderate carbonation, let you know it is a carbonated beverage, in this case a beer. But it has, again, a luscious like creaminess to it. The body, after those 2 sips, is kind of fucking wild how that just changed. I must have just not been thinking too much on that first sip as far as the body is concerned. It's certainly noticeable on the last 3 sips. The taste though, the nose carried over. It's more of that candied hop character. Citrus is leading the way though. Right up front, I get a little bit of that bready, biscuity malt character dives underneath the palate, but then right after that, it's citrus, it's orange, it's tangerine, it's tangelo. There's a little bit of like, I mean, it's juicy. It's like, again, candied. So there's not a lot of like pithiness or zestiness right at the front. It's more sweet. But yeah, a lot of citrus character. As it passes through, that peach hits, and again, it's that sweeter, I wouldn't say necessarily like peach gummy ring, but it's more in that peach kind of syrup. And that hits about halfway through the palate. And then after that, I finish with strawberries that aren't as sweet or candied or pronounced as in the nose. So I'm talking about a lot of sweet candied nature. But here's the thing. The finish on this one balances everything out. Because if not, this would be way too sweet for me. It'd be one of these, double IPAs or Imperial Hazy IPAs, almost approaching 10%, that just too sweet. And I just want half the can, because by the time I get the second half of the can, it'd be, just cloying and just not what I want. That's not happening here. After, I've had like 5 sips now at this point. What's happening is the strawberry is kind of hitting me like 2/3 of the way through the palate, but it's kind of interacting with that finish. That finish is dank, it's herbaceous, and there is a mild to moderate bitterness. This is also semi-dry, so it's still lean sweet, but not too sweet. And that's for me, the balance I'm looking for in these beers. I've said it before, but I need some kind of bitterness or dryness or something to break up the monotony of all the sweetness at the forefront that I get, and this is doing it extremely well. I'm sitting here, just in my head thinking about scores, but also thinking about the finish. And is there anything sticking out? Yeah, there's something sticking out. I forgot this is 9.3%, even though I just said it. There is absolutely no booze on the palate. It's a little bit of a warming in the chest. If I was doing this blind, I would probably, from the body perspective, I would say this is in the triple IPA realm. From an ABV standpoint, this is like in a high regular IPA, low double IPA, so like 8%. So 9.3 is kind of crazy from that aspect, because it drinks alcohol-wise like a 7.5%, 8% double IPA. Yeah, this is fucking real good. I can see why you wanted me to drink this one right away. Again, kudos to them too. Just under 3 weeks old. Maybe a very small, minute touch of hop burn going down the throat. Nothing that screams to me like, it's going to be harsh or anything. Not at all. That dank herbation, this basil, thyme. There's also like a little bit of like a marijuana vibe. It has like a freshly cut grass kind of feel to it as well. Like, or I've said this before, like damp when it's wet outside. You go outside, it has that little bit of dampness, but with the freshness of everything around it. Like if you were maybe in a forest or in the garden, just that kind of feeling to it. I can't get over this body. This body is approaching full body, 9.3%. That's fucking absurd. But it doesn't impede the drinkability, if that makes any sense. Like a lot of times when you get these thick, syrupy, double and triple IPAs, it starts to bog down your palate. Nah, it's just adding to the experience of this beer. This is real good. This is definitely better for me than the Magester Ignis. I don't know if I'm in the minority or not, because I've only had 2 beers. This is the second one, but this is top quality stuff. Body, fucking outstanding. Mouthfeel, right behind it. The taste, saturated, great hop goodness. Pretty well balanced overall. Not too much hop burn in this one, and just fucking delicious. So, Brujos, their secular rating. I'm going to give this a straight 4.75 out of 5. This is fucking pretty delicious. And when you hear about hype breweries like this is the type of stuff that I expect. Like, the Magester Ignis was really good. I gave it like a 4.5, 4.55. Don't get me wrong, really good. But like this is better than that for me, and this is just awesome. It's just fantastic. It's Citra and Simcoe through and through. The Strata maybe doesn't come through as much as I think, but it could be in other ways. And again, the can design is fantastic. Price point availability, this is where I don't know for the most part. Price point, have no idea. So if anybody knows, please post in the comment section. And then availability, I'm pretty sure these are brewery only. I think they have their new brewery or in tap room or whatever opening up this year, or maybe it's already opened up. Again, I don't really keep my fingers on the pulse here when it comes to hype stuff nowadays. Sierra Hotel pretty much tells me everything that's hype. He'll be like, oh, this is a lot of people are liking this and whatnot. But I don't know. All I know is he was nice enough to send me a couple cans of Brujos stuff. This is the first one I've reviewed of the last two. I've only had 2 beers courtesy of him. They've both been really good. This is the clear winner, 4.75 out of 5. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you thought about it. Did you think the body mouthfeel was as good as I'm saying? Did you get something out of the taste that I'm not? Like I said, that citrus and that peach is just so, like, again, fruit cup-esque. And while it sounds sweet, it's so well balanced that it might have sounded like this is a crazy sweet Imperial Hazy IPA, but it's really not. And that's the beauty about it. So thanks again to Sierra Hotel. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one, cheers.